kind of fancy stuff you do in there?
Oh, camera thing?
Oh, why not?
Very stressful thing. It's called the final sand out. You gotta make
It's
sure.
like a pretty fine paper you're using.
Well, this is not as fine as it's going to be. This is 1500, and I'm going to take it down to 2000 next. But this is the money shot at paint job, because if you F it up here, look at the color on this body.
That's Alder Boy, huh?
Yeah, look at this color. Beautiful, huh?
It is.
Boy, when that buffs, man, that's going to be just gorgeous. Isn't it?
Yeah. Very smooth.
Yeah. Yeah, 1500 and then 2000. Time for a new 2000. You want to get it all here, well, I do anyway, because I don't use a power buffer. I don't use a big wheel power buffer. I did in the past.
Wow.
Yeah, Ajax lubricant
Where'd you find that?
in your sink. You don't want to.
Use it straight, huh?
Oh, some water. You don't want to put scratches.
Ew, it stinks.
Smells like dishwashing soap.
I know it stinks. Dishwashing soap
You
stinks.
don't. Okay. You don't want to. Put scratches in now, because then you'd have to use a big power buffer and you heat the finish up. I just never liked it. I mean, I did that. I used to own giant, huge production buffer and set them up in shops and stuff. And I painted hundreds and thousands of guitars that way. But when you're not working production, you know, you're just building a handful of guitars. You can get it mostly in the sand out here, and then literally just buff lightly, almost by hand. You know, I mean, I've turned a lot of guys onto this where you learn how to finish properly so that you're not sanding out a real mess. And then if you want that old look, no, I'm not talking about a beat up look. I can't stand that. It looks like somebody dragged their guitar behind the car for 6 miles. That would never happen around here. You want to make a guitar look like that, go play it yourself or something, but don't abuse it, because that's what happened to those guitars. But my point is if you want it to look warm and old without a shine, you get it down this smooth right here, and just a heavy, not even with any compound. I mean, I turn people on to that.
Microfiber cloth.
Yeah, I turn people onto that all the time. It just puts a light sheen on it, very smooth, and what you wind up with is a
like a semi-gloss.
not even, you know. But I don't do that. I buff it, you know, because it's only. There's the 10 in.
What's that?
There's the big gold amp right there.
Oh. What are we listening to?
Power's a 10.
Oh.
And you know, so for me, I don't like a big buffer heating up my finish. I'm not doing production work. I can sand this so smooth that it needs very little. Very little.
Looks very painstaking and time consuming.
Well, like I said, you can screw up all that work painting right here. I mean, you're really just polishing this now with a very light grade. Very light grade paint.
That sandpaper probably just feels like a piece of paper, huh?
Yeah, right now it does.
So 1500 grit and 2000 grit and Ajax. And elbow grease. There's the elbow.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it would start, you know, which is very smooth last coats.
It looks, most people would, probably their new guitars don't even look that
Well,
good.
especially if you're going to beat it up and make it look like it's been dragged behind a truck for 6 miles. But from that final spray, with, you know, having really good guns and knowing how to paint, and then this light 2000, man, you're there. I mean, let's dry this off a little bit. See that? That don't need shit. I mean, I can almost polish that right
Get
now.
up close to it.
Well, don't kill yourself getting too close.
You missed a little bit on the...
I know there's spots, Michelle. I still have to go over. Okay.
Alright, okay.
But, see, if you just wanted an old sheen, you know, you have to work it a little harder than that, but...
You got all the high gloss shine off of there, that's for sure.
Well, that you got to get that off, you know. And you know, it doesn't have to be totally flat if you know your own buffing skills, what's going to come out in the buff, you know. I mean, at the final end, I just start using my fingers like this to get areas. And I don't work too hard under the pick guard because...
You're going to get covered up.
Well, yeah, but if you get water in these spots...
Oh, yeah.
Most of these holes you see are not, they're just detents, so they're filled with lacquer. It'd be very hard. See those spots that were missed are now gotten, and see, I want that right there. I want this area right here. Normally people would be really bored watching me work, but you get some good music while I'm doing it, right? Why not, right?
Hopefully it's not infringing on anyone's copyright.
Doesn't matter because I don't monetize, right? You don't monetize anything on our site.
Doesn't matter, no. But they'll sometimes they'll let it stay, and sometimes they'll monetize it to the monetizer.
Yeah,
so your
I mean,
video is feeding
I'm
them.
the last guy in the world to try to make money on YouTube. I think, for me, that's just foolish, you know. Somebody watch a video about my guitars and then watch 23 commercials about eyeglasses that have a stereo in them, you know, or the, what is it, the hoodie, the something hoodie.
The bear skin.
Man, if I see that commercial one more frickin' time before I can get to it to shut it off, I think I'll just...
If you forget and let it
all.
If you think, oh, it'll just be a minute, it's like 5 minutes.
Right.
If I ever saw one of those, I wouldn't buy it.
That was the middle pickup right there, huh? That he was just playing. Just that one little passage. Obviously the bridge pickup. Look how smooth that's getting, huh?
I was just thinking, it looks pretty smooth, Bob. Maybe you're about
Well,
done.
that's 1500. I got to finish. You always got to. I know a lot of guys that go down way less than 2000. I've been doing this so long. I've tried all that stuff, and I don't know. I mean, what? How fine is your buffing wheel? I mean, you know. And don't forget, a bridge covers all of this in here. But on the final sand out, you'll never see me do this. Okay? It's always straight.
With the grain.
Well, yeah, but there's no grain involved. I mean, the grain is buried beneath the finish.
I know, but
It's
if you're
just
going to have
that-
a scratch, you'd want it to be in line with the grain, I guess.
Well, it makes less of them because if a piece should... But see, the soap keeps... And I got soap in this water too, see? So it keeps anything from making its way like a piece of grit. If you get a piece of grit under here, all you're doing is scratching the shit out of this. And that's okay if it's between coats because you're putting another coat on. But guess what? You're not putting another coat on now. It's done, you know? This is eight weeks maybe. This one, maybe 9 weeks.
That's around 9 weeks, I think.
The older one?
I think the last you sprayed was around mid-November. I'd have to check and see.
Alright, so this one is ready to buff now. But not today because it's not warm enough out. I gotta buff out in front
Monday
of the
and
garage.
Tuesday is supposed to warm up a little.
Well, then that's when they will get done. The next one up is gonna be,
Dirty Bird?
yeah, this one right here. Try not to get my wet fingerprints all over it. This one's going in next. Mr. Birdseye. Look at it all. Wicked, huh?
It's awful shiny to me, but yeah, it can use a little more gloss.
Well, no, it's not that. You know, you got to get it real flat, you know. But you can see there's no... My shellac, it buries the grains. That's 9 weeks. That's it, right off the
You
spray
want me to
gun.
try to catch it? You have to hold it still
Okay,
for a
I'm
second.
gonna hold it still. Right off the spray gun. 9 weeks, and there's nothing sunk in those grains. Here's the front. Nothing sunk. Nowhere. And this is more of a challenge than the one that I just sanded, because that's older. But this is a piece of wicked, grainy swamp ash. And so you know, for me, it's the shellac that allows me to just bury those grains and use nothing but organic shellac and lacquerings. I don't like those vinyl sealers. You got to spray right after you spray them, or they'll delaminate. To me, it's not very good. Okay. I'm gonna put. What are you doing, no?
Oh, you're going to do more?
No.
I thought we were saying goodbye.
Oh, I was gonna walk into the camera by accident. Okay, look. Older boy with all its
Get
dust
the light
on it,
shining off of it.
to get
You
some
won't
of the
be able to
dust
see
off,
anything.
the sanding dust. Look at the grain on that. Of course, I got sanding dust all around that, but when that buffs out, there won't be. And its neck. Oh, check this out. Let me dry my hands off here. Its neck is all filed out, buffed out, tuning keys installed. It's ready to go.
We got pickups made for it.
I said I wouldn't get anything on it, and I did. I got a set wound for this guitar and Dirty Bird. Look at that.
Very pretty.
Look at the color in that, huh? I don't know if the camera sees that. The orange, see the orange speckles in it, like? I gotta make sure I don't call this green spalted grain, because it's not. It's,
No, it's not.
what do you call it? Speckles?
God. It's flecked. It's flecked.
Fleck. Speckle fleck.
Thanks to our previous viewers pointing that out.
Yep. And this is Dirty Bird's neck. Ready also to go on its guitar. He was such a slow player, wasn't he? It's amazing. Stop. Nice, huh?
It's a lot more listenable than a lot of those fast guitar players.
Said he's one of the only guys I could listen to play a bit fast. Because he was always musical. Alright. This video's going nowhere now.
Bob,
Cover shot.
an older boy. Okay, bye. How do I do it?